Riding a motorcycle out in traffic around all the lights and the cars is easily the most dangerous thing you're gonna do on two wheels. And if you're brand new, me saying that might make you a little terrified, right? Good, because a little bit of fear is what keeps you sharp out there. The good news is there are actual strategies you can use to make riding out in traffic way safer. Today, I'm going to be walking you guys through 5 of the biggest mistakes I see new riders make when they get out in traffic, and I'm going to show you how to fix every single one of them. And you guys stick around because these aren't about little slip-ups, these are about major things that are going to keep you safe, confident, and most importantly, out there having a blast while you're riding a motorcycle. And yes, I'm still bad at number 3, but we'll get to that later. Let's get to the first mistake. Before we head out, you guys did know that we're giving away this 2025 Ninja 500, right? See, this is an episode of On2 Garage, and videos just like this are made possible by the support we get over at ON2Garage.com. If you guys enjoy this style of content, jump on over to ON2Garage.com, get signed up, and not only will you be helping the channel, you could potentially win our Ninja 500 or one of our other giveaway bikes while supporting the channel at the same time. I'm going to have a link in the description for you guys. And now that we got that handled, we got to get this bike out in traffic and start working on these mistakes.
Let's start with mistake number 1, and that's sitting in neutral when you're stopped at a red light. Now, here's the golden rule at a stoplight. Always be ready to move, and whatever you do, never be stuck. So what do I mean by that? Well, it's kind of simple. When you roll into a red light, you do not want to park dead center behind the car in front of you. Pull off to the left or the right side of the lane. A motorcycle is small enough that doing that leaves a whole wide open path alongside the car ahead of you, but here's the thing. None of that matters if you're sitting there in neutral when somebody comes flying up behind you. I mean, just think about it. You're at the light, you see headlights coming up too fast in your mirror. If you're in neutral, you've now got to click down into first, find the friction zone with your clutch, then slowly let it out, give it a little bit of throttle, and then you can start going. That takes time, and that is time that you might not have. But if you're already in first with the clutch in, you just have to release it, give it a little gas, and you're totally gone. It might not seem like you're saving a lot of time, but in situations like this, you need every single millisecond. And here's where that lane position pays off. If you've got to jump out of the way fast, do not just jump into the lane next to you. You have no idea if there's a car sitting right there or in your blind spot or coming up quickly if the lane is open. Instead, all you have to do is pull up alongside the car that stopped ahead of you. Take advantage of how small your bike is and tuck in right next to it. Now that car becomes a shield. So if the person barreling up behind you doesn't stop in time, they hit that car, not you, at full force. You're putting metal between you and the threat instead of rolling the dice on an open lane that you haven't been keeping an eye on. Now, one more piece here, and it's that you can actually get into neutral at a red light, but just do not do this until there are at least 2 to 3 cars that have come to a full stop behind you. Once you've got a wall of cars back there, they're basically your buffer, and until then, you are the last thing between a distracted driver and a really bad day. So the habit is this: roll up to a light, offset left to the right, and stay in first with the clutch. And if you ever need to bail, go up next to the car ahead of you, staying in your own lane, not into the lane beside you. This simple little habit could easily save your life and stop you from becoming a motorcycle sandwich. Mistake number 2 goes hand in hand with mistake number 1, and that's not watching your mirrors while you're stopped. See, staying in gear is great, but it doesn't do any good if you don't see the threat coming, right? When a motorcycle is stopped, we basically lose all of our safety advantages that come with being on a motorcycle. They are normally small and fast and get into small spaces that cars can't. But the second we are standing still, we can't move quickly and we're stuck balancing the thing between our legs. Your mirrors are your early warning system when you're just sitting there. And I'm not talking about one quick glance when you first roll up. I mean constantly scanning. Every few seconds, check the mirror, check ahead to make sure the light didn't change, check the mirror again. You need to be treating standing still just like you do when you're riding the motorcycle. I imagine if you're riding correctly, while you're riding, your eyes are glancing all over the place. You kind of feel like Tony Stark inside of a helmet looking at all the things going on just to keep you safe. When we stop, we need to keep that same situational awareness. Now, you guys that have been around the channel for a while know that a few years back, my wife and I got rear-ended sitting at a red light. Luckily, we were in the car at the time, and the guy came up and nailed us at like 45 miles an hour. Totaled our car, totaled his car. And what stuck with me ever since this is if I'd been on a bike in that situation, I wasn't watching my mirrors, I would have had zero warning, like literally nothing. I'm honestly still shocked at how fast this happened, and I somehow never noticed that car was coming up behind us. So the habit here is simple. When you're stopped, your eyes should be bouncing between what's ahead of you and, most importantly, what's behind you, because in a situation like this, the only thing that has the ability to hurt you is what's coming up from behind you. The second you see headlights closing in too fast, you've already got options because you're sitting in first from mistake number one. That's why these two work together. Gear plus mirrors equals an escape plan. Do not get complacent even if you're not moving. All right, now mistake number 3 is one that I am awful at, and it's a little different from the others because this one isn't about a technique or a skill. This one's about your brain, and the mistake is riding the exact same route every single day. A show of hands, how many of you guys take the identical path to work? You take the same road, the same turns, the same intersections. You know this route so well, you could practically ride it with your eyes closed, and that right there is the problem. See, when your brain gets that comfortable with a route, it basically checks out. You stop scanning intersections like you used to. You stop watching those front tires like I told you to. You stop checking your mirrors as much. Your body's riding the bike, but your brain is already at home on the couch or trying to figure out what you're gonna do when you get to work or class. And here's the stat that backs this up. The NHTSA says more than half of all accidents happen within just 5 miles of home. The roads we know the best are the ones we let our guard down on. And guys, just because I'm making this video does not mean I'm immune to this stuff as well. I caught myself doing the exact same thing. There's a route to the parking lot that I have ridden probably 1,000 times. It's that same parking lot you see us shoot at all the time. And one day, I realized I got there with zero memory of the actual ride. That scared me because those are the exact moments where things go wrong. So the fix for this is simple. Switch it up. Even if the other way is 5 minutes longer, just take it. Another thing you can do is route your way to work or class, and instead of following it exactly, literally just accidentally, quote unquote, miss a turn and let it reroute you. Now, you don't got to do this every day, but enough to keep your brain awake. When you're on a road that you don't know as well, you are naturally more alert. You're scanning harder, you're paying attention, and that is what is going to keep you safe. Now, I know this one isn't flashy. Nobody's making a highlight reel out of a guy taking a different left turn, but this might be the most important mistake in this whole video because it's the one none of us want to admit. We all get complacent, and complacency on a motorcycle is what gets us hurt. On a plus side, going in random places, you never know what cool roads you'll find, so this one does have some benefits. Mistake number 4 is not reading the drivers around you. See, most new riders, if they're watching anything at all, they're watching the cars around them, but by doing this, you're missing out on an early sign of what's about to happen. See, when you're just watching the cars, you're only able to react to what is happening. The car is moving into your lane. The car in front of you is braking hard because they just looked up from their phone and realized that people are stopping ahead of them. Now, if we shift that focus to the actual actual drivers in the car, there are tons of early warning signs we can get from the drivers that will tell us exactly what's going to happen with some scary accuracy just by watching for little behaviors that they do. Here's how I think about it. When you ride a motorcycle, staying safe is your job and nobody else's. It's kind of like the TSA at the airport. It's their job to scan every single person before they get on the plane to make sure nothing dangerous gets through. Well, out on the road, you're the scanner. You don't pull up next to a car, and you definitely don't pass one until you've scanned that driver and figured out what kind of driver they are. So the question is, what are we looking for in car drivers around us? Start with that front tire of the car closest to you, because that tire tells you what the car is about to do before anything else moves. If it starts to roll or turn, that's your first warning, but you can catch it even earlier. Glance at the driver's side mirror. If you can see their face and they're looking into it, they're probably about to make a move, a lane change, a turn, something. You're generally going to notice them move their head slightly towards the direction they're about to make a move to. If you notice a driver slightly turn their head to the right and you see the car start moving to the right side of the lane, I would bet you that that car is about to make a lane change to the right, regardless if they have a turn signal or not. Same thing happens with the windows. If you see their head turn, looking over their shoulder, checking a blind spot, you know a lane change is coming before the tire ever twitches. So here's the order. Mirror first, tire second. The mirror and the face tell you the car is about to move. The tire is what tells you the car is moving. Stack those together and you've scanned the driver before you even pull up next to them. Now, can you do this with every single car in heavy traffic? Probably not, but getting in the habit of scanning the driver of the car you're about to pass is going to give you a massive head start. The same thing goes for distracted drivers. If you're coming up on a car that isn't maintaining their lane and you get close enough to see in their mirror and you notice that their head is looking down, that is a red flag that that driver is distracted on their phone and you need to get away from them ASAP. Motorcycles are hard to notice when somebody is actually paying attention while they drive. Imagine how hard we are to notice if the person can't even be bothered to look up from their phone while operating thousands of pounds of metal on the road. All right, guys, last one, and that's mistake number 5, and this is one I honestly never thought about until somebody pointed it out to me. It's sitting at a red light at night without doing anything to make yourself stand out. Imagine you're stopped at a red light at night, your tail light's on, and the car in front of you has their tail lights on, obviously, and to the drivers rolling up behind you, all they see is a cluster of red lights. Your one little tail light just gets lost in the mix. They might not even realize that there's a gap between the car and your bike until it's too late. Now, here's the part that actually matters, and it's about how the human eye works. In the motorcycle world, there's a thing called looked but failed to see. It's the number one thing drivers say after they hit a rider. Think about it. Sorry, man, I just didn't see you. And a lot of the time, they're not even lying. Their eyes were pointed right at you. The problem is your brain is wired to filter out anything that's steady and predictable. A handful of red lights just sitting there at a stoplight, your brain files that as background noise and tunes it right out. But your eye is hardwired to catch one thing, and that is movement. Anything that changes or flashes grabs your attention whether you want to or not. So they call that a pattern interrupt, and that is the entire game here. So instead of just sitting there, we need to make our bike be seen the same way signs get people's attention driving down the damn Las Vegas Strip. They need to be flashing all over the place. So the fix is this: tap your brake light while you are there sitting at a red light. Every tap makes your brake light flash, and that flash is movement. Think if you've ever been riding down the street and somebody had a busted taillight that was kind of flashing. I bet it got your attention. This is the exact same thing. It breaks the pattern. It snaps that driver out of autopilot and makes their brain go, hey, there's something there. You're forcing them to actually see you instead of just looking at you. If you guys imagine coming up to stop traffic, everybody's brake lights are going to be a constant red. But imagine you're coming up to stop traffic and a light on the right or the left side is sitting there blinking. If anything, it's going to get your attention, but it's probably also going to make somebody realize, hey, that is a weird brake light in the car in front of me, and they're going to pay attention to it more. And as they get closer to you, that's when they're going to realize, oh, there's a motorcycle in between me and the car ahead of me. And if you guys want to take this a step further, look at the road these days. It's all SUVs and trucks and lifted vehicles, and a lot of them can't even see your bike level brake light. It's just too low. That's why I run a brake-free light on my helmet. They're not sponsoring this video, it's just a product that I really believe in. It sits way up high at eye level on the back of your helmet, and it flashes brighter when you slow down using the accelerometer on the inside. There's no wires, you just charge it up, so now you've got that pattern interrupt right where they're already looking. If you guys want to get a discount on brake frees, I have a link in the description down below that'll save you guys some money. Now, at the end of the day, we can't control what drivers do. All we can control is how hard we make ourselves to miss.
All right, so guys, those are 5 mistakes to avoid out there in traffic. And guys, we're all beginners at some point in our riding journey, and the road is going to teach us something new every single time we throw a leg over the bike. Now, here's what I want you guys to do. Drop in the comments down below and leave us your top tip for riding in traffic. That way, the comment section of this video can be a giant list of awesome tips to keep other riders safe when they're out riding here, because the road might have taught you something that it hasn't taught somebody else. Also, if you guys have a buddy thinking about getting into riding or a buddy that's just starting riding, send them this video, because it's these type of tips that are keeping riders alive, and the more riders that stay alive, the more riders are out on the road. You guys stay safe out there. I'm Chase on 2 Wheels, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.